Tonight, Broken Hill Police mostly pleased with driver behaviour over the long weekend. And crowds gather in Port Lincoln for the world-famous tuna toss.
With the latest from around the region, your nightly news with John Hunt begins now.
Good evening. Broken Hill Police say motorists mostly behaved themselves over the long weekend. However, they've confirmed a few will pay the price for choosing to drink and drive.
Operation Safe Return was in effect across New South Wales over the long weekend. In Broken Hill, officers were on the road day and night.
We were out in full force over the long weekend. Even myself, I was out there doing my own bit to stop drivers, speak to them, breath test them, make sure that they, seatbelts, mobile phones, all those sorts of things.
Over 1,400 random breath tests were conducted in the Barrier Police District, most returning negative readings. However, Inspector Smith says some took the risk and were caught. One was a 26-year-old local man.
He refused to give us a sample of his breath when we pulled him over, so he was arrested, brought back to the Broken Hill Police Station, where he again refused to give a sample of his breath.
The man was charged with failing to provide a sample twice and driving with an expired licence. A Menindee man was also detected driving under the influence, the new low-range laws in New South Wales coming into effect.
He did go .059, which is low range, and under the laws that changed late last year, we can now issue a ticket to the person that's driving with low-range PCA, and his licence was suspended on the spot for 3 months.
Inspector Smith says officers handed out over 30 speeding tickets throughout the weekend across the entire Barrier District.
30 too many, but it's not too bad considering the size of our area. 4 seatbelt offences and 2 mobile phone offences.
Local officers say while it is disappointing to see a few still not getting the message, the rest are driving safely on our roads. Patrick Reinke, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
South Australian Police have declared Operation Safe Long Weekend a success on Eyre Peninsula roads. The operation focused on areas that carry a high volume of traffic, targeting drivers under the influence. Starting last Thursday, Highway Patrol officers caught 11 drivers under the influence of drugs, issued 27 fines for various traffic offences, and defected 22 vehicles. Some of those caught will appear in court at a later date. And Yorke Peninsula Police were also kept busy in Wallaroo, detecting 3 drink drivers over the long weekend. A 49-year-old Woodville Park woman was pulled over Sunday, recording a reading of .068. A 38-year-old Paraka man was also stopped at an RBT station Monday morning, allegedly blowing .86. On Sunday evening, a 23-year-old Glenelg woman recorded a .206, instantly losing her licence. It was back to school for students today, with some starting their journey for the first time. There were nerves for new Whangarei student Lani Pierce, who lives with a rare genetic condition.
Like many families, this morning started by packing the school bag, but for Lani Pierce it's an extra special day as the 4-year-old starts school for the very first time.
She's been up early, she's been excited, she's had a few little tears, she's been a bit all over the place, so we'll see how she goes today.
There was a mixture of nervous excitement for this bubbly 4-year-old who also lives with a genetic condition affecting just 8 Australians.
It's an overgrowth condition, so some of her body parts and features are overgrown and can cause delays and seizures and things like that.
Lani's rare condition affects her development of balance and movement as well as learning. She's not letting it slow her down, with a new student excited to start school.
I'm excited seeing my cousins.
But not without some hesitation from Mum.
She wondered how she's going to go, but I have faith. The school's been amazing, so we've been really lucky.
A quick hug and she was good to go, the school helping support Lani every step of the way.
The teachers themselves and staff do a lot of research and training on how to support students with certain conditions. Lani's just a beautiful child. We have had her here in preschool.
The school's been amazing. Anything we've needed, they've helped us with, so they've been great.
Despite a few waterworks from students and parents, everyone made it safe to school today. Here at Lake Wangari, more than 45 new students are starting their school journey.
It's really exciting to see the fresh faces back, all excited to learn and get into another exciting year.
Nathan Rector, Seven Spencer Golf News.
Port Pirie Council is calling on the community to contribute ideas towards a waterfront development plan. They say they're looking to connect the central business district to the beach.
After 30 years of discussion and debate, plans to create a Port Pirie waterfront are finally in action.
It's been a thing that we've been talking about for some time within the Port Pirie Regional Council. We've done plans way back since 1993 working towards it, but there's always been a bit of a stumbling block.
Riverbank Precinct goes from basically behind the council offices, Berth 3, all the way through to the back of the Near Star accommodation camp.
Connecting the beach to the CBD, the idea is to get residents more involved with marine activities in the area.
The types of things that the community would like to see. So we'll be looking at recreational activities as well as commercial activities.
Council members are floating different ideas to accommodate the community.
Cycle through to the wharf area, and then the bollards could be removed and we could perhaps put food vans in there on a Sunday where it's nicely shaded because of the positioning of the silos.
Now, Council wants local residents to have their say and put ideas forward on how the area should look.
Starting our community consultation process in February, and we'll have a number of activities where the public can get involved.
Council say they're excited to offer waterfront activities and will consider any ideas put forward.
No idea is a silly idea. However, the ideas that I suppose get implemented will certainly be dependent on funding.
Shari Hams, Seven Spencer Golf News.
Still to come tonight, we meet this year's Whyalla Citizens of the Year, and schools in our region receive a funding boost. Welcome back. Clare Valley local Alan Mayfield has been awarded South Australian Citizen of the Year. Community members say the honour is well deserved for his years of volunteering.
Honouring 35 years of hard work, this Clare Valley volunteer has received one of South Australia's highest awards.
A bit of surprise and then a satisfaction that we're doing a job, but I did say to the Mayor, I said, now I've got these awards, I've got to keep going.
Well known for devoting his time in many community groups, including the Lions Club and Riesling Trail Committee, those who work alongside him say it's well deserved.
Hundreds of hours doing that, doing project management and inspiring the community and the committees that he works for.
He's got the ability to do whatever it needs to be done to make it happen.
Also competing internationally for Master Athletics, Alan coaches at local competitions. On top of his already busy schedule, he works closely with grain growers in the Mid-North region and has been instrumental in farming research.
And got involved a lot with agricultural research as well and helped set up the Hart Field site and was involved with GRDC, the Grains Research Development Corporation, now still involved with the South Australian Grains Industry Trust.
Now, Alan's family and friends are celebrating his success, but he says the support from the community has played a major part in his achievements.
The committees that I work with, those in Lions and the Riesling Trail, but also a lot of other people who just put their hand up and say, if you ever need a help, just call out.
Shari Hams, Seven Spencer Golf News.
Well deserved. A 30-year-old woman will appear in court after 2 tasers and illegal drugs were allegedly found in her Port Pirie West home. Police say they searched the premises last Saturday, allegedly locating 2 homemade tasers and amounts of cannabis and methamphetamine. The woman was reported for owning an illegal weapon and was also fined for drug possession. She'll appear in court at a later date. A future TV star and a volunteer with more than 40 years service are the Whyalla Junior and Senior Citizens of the Year. City Council holding a special ceremony to mark their achievements.
a prestigious award not easily earned.
It's an award that comes after years and years of dedication, volunteering in our community.
Andrew Eads has spent over 4 decades volunteering at the Model Railway Society, the Swimming Club and the Whyalla Show Society. Known as Mr Fix-It, he's always lending a helping hand.
Big congratulations to Andrew for winning Citizen of the Year, a very worthy winner. Almost 40 years of volunteering in Whyalla.
He says it's a proud moment for he and his family.
Slightly embarrassed, surprised to actually be nominated and even receive it. It's not something you aim for or anything like that, and you're still sinking in really.
With strong competition in the junior department, Shantae Barnes-Cowan's acting and sport achievements saw her shine.
I think she's going to be an exciting winner to watch in the next 12 months. Very deserving, and I know her family are extremely proud of her efforts.
Shantae starred in the TV miniseries Total Control alongside Deborah Millen and Rachel Griffiths. She also serves as an Indigenous Literacy Foundation ambassador, mentoring other young Aboriginal women.
I was completely surprised, but I was very proud of myself as well. And I know that my family is really proud of me, so that makes me proud.
This year's recipients will be out and about the community, speaking to groups and schools. Council also congratulating all those who were nominated, saying a number of locals are doing their part to make the community a better place.
It's going to be a very strong year for them to learn skills, to blend with the community and to tell everyone their stories.
Sophia Conchagonis, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Over a dozen schools in the Grey electorate have received a funding boost to improve facilities. Quorn Area School and Port Pirie West Primary are 2 of those successful in securing federal support. Laura Milovanovic has more.
Grants of up to $20,000 per school were up for grabs in the $200,000 announcement. The new funding project will see over a dozen schools in the Grey electorate region to see improvements across all areas.
There's a whole lot of other things through other schools across the electorate, ranging from digital support, music programs, special class expansion, music, environmental sustainability project, kitchen gardens, all those kinds of things.
Federal member for Grey, Rowan Ramsey, says it highlights how crucial school involvement is.
I think it's really important that parents and supporters stay involved with those schools at local level because not only does that improve their facilities, I think it gives you a much healthier environment on the ground.
14 schools were successful in their applications. Quorn Area School granted $3,000 for new sunshades.
We were continuously borrowing shades from different organisations in Quorn. So, yeah, when we had sporting events or community events, we were borrowing shades, and it was just a lot easier if we could apply for some shades, like portable shades for ourselves.
Port Pirie West Primary were also successful, securing $20,000 in support for improvements in computer and information technology equipment. Work will soon begin on the projects, the 14 schools, to see the changes develop throughout the new school year.
Stay with us. Port Lincoln's famous tuna toss crowns back-to-back champions. And basketball returns to action in Broken Hill. Locals and visitors tested their strength at the annual Tunarama Tuna Toss. The World Championship event drew in the crowds as last year's winners returned to successfully defend their titles.
It's the only festival in Australia where you can see tuna fly. The World Championship Tuna Toss returned over the weekend as part of the iconic Tunarama Festival. Last year's winners, who are also professional hammer throwers, were back to defend their titles.
It's a bit of a break from your regular hammer throwing training, and there's not many places in the world you can toss a tuna.
I've been doing hammer throw for about 10 years and that helps me with this event, I think.
The famous event drew in the crowds with locals, interstate and international visitors trying their hand at the toss. Port Lincoln's mayor kicked off the event trying to beat last year's record.
You're ready and ready to go? What was your throw last year? Did they measure it or not? 6.2 metres, I think. Okay, can he beat 6.2 metres? Yeah, maybe not.
Saturday saw nearly 80 competitors compete in the toss before the final the following day.
So I rigged up my own sort of little tuner and been practicing with that for the past few weeks.
The defending champion managed to toss his tuner a record 24.7 metres, while Althea Mackey won the women's competition throwing just over 11 metres.
Today was all right. It was enough for a win. But in previous years I have thrown a bit further, about 1 metre further last year, and in 2017 I think I threw a bit further.
This year 10-kilogram rubber tuners were used in the finals instead of a real one. Competitors had to muscle a lot of strength to get them flying. The reigning champions already planning for next year's competition.
I love it down here, so I'm going to keep coming back until I can't.
Nathan Regter, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Port Augusta is next on the map for the Australian Council for the Arts Governance Program. The workshop will be held next month, with artists from around the region encouraged to attend.
In just 4 weeks, local artists around the region can gain valuable information about the world of art.
It's not just doing art, there's lots of medium in the art world, and so giving people the skills and the knowledge to look at the bigger picture will also empower our local artists.
The program aims to educate artists on governance and proper practice.
Particularly with smaller organisations, getting access to good governance knowledge and practices at the board level was a bit problematic.
The Executive Director receiving great feedback from attendees.
Overwhelmingly, people that have attended have been able to find things that they can take out of the sessions and implement in a practical manner back in their own organisations.
Port Augusta's Cultural Centre no stranger to showcasing local artworks. They've welcomed the support.
The artwork has just gone up another notch, to see what our mob are producing. And so I think, the art world in and around our community is growing, and our artists are producing some beautiful artwork.
The workshop will be held on February 26 with the location revealed next week. Laura Milovanovic, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Whyalla and Port Lincoln will host one of the South Australian AFL teams for a community camp. Port Adelaide have confirmed they'll visit the two cities on the 5th and 6th of March. Fans will have the chance to meet their footballing heroes and watch them prepare for the 2020 season. The Power will head to schools, hospitals and local footy ovals across the 2 days. The camp is a precursor to Port Adelaide hosting the Western Bulldogs in the Marsh Pre-Season Cup at the redeveloped Bennett Oval in Whyalla on March 7. The second half of the Broken Hill basketball season resumes tonight, with increasing junior numbers and some big events coming soon. Organisers say the future of the sport is looking bright.
Back on court in Broken Hill for another year.
Starts back again this week. We've got Unisex tonight and then leading to the rest of our games Wednesday, Thursday and Friday.
Teams will dust off the holiday cobwebs this week. While players are ecstatic to be back shooting hoops, organisers are also happy, with the association recording a surge in its junior numbers.
Oh, it's loud, it's noisy, there's so many parents around. It's just an awesome atmosphere to be around on Friday nights.
Meg Butcher started playing the game when she was just 5 years of age. Now 16, she's in her 4th year playing for New South Wales.
It's very exciting to see, and it's great to get amongst and see all the little kids running out there. It makes me feel old, but it's always good. It shows that there's going to be some good talent coming through soon.
Some big days for the association are coming up. Next month, the city's best A-grade players will take on a side from South Australia.
We've selected a pool of men's A who we think are our best. So we're going to put them to the test against some Central District guys.
And there's a twist to the grand final week, with all finals to be played on the one day.
We've actually made it one full day of jam-packed entertainment. So we start off with our 12s, all the way through to our men's A grade.
Patrick Reinke, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Stay with us after the break. Broken Hill residents get behind the bushfire appeal. And Britt has the latest weather forecast. Hello again. A barbecue fundraiser held by staff and patients from West Haven Broken Hill has raised over $300 for bushfire-affected communities. The disability service provider held a sausage sizzle this morning at Globe Timber and Hardware. Staff say the idea came from their patients who wanted to do something to help.
It means a lot that my clients decided that they wanted to do it off their own back. It wasn't something that the staff turned around and said, hey, how about we do this? The clients were the ones that turned around and said, this is what we want to do.
The team say they're thankful for the support they've received. To the weather, and we're in for a scorcher tomorrow, with temperatures set to soar above 40 degrees in some parts. Here's Britt with the details.
Thanks, John, and good evening. You're right, tomorrow is going to be quite hot, but first let's take a look at today. 37 was the region's top temperature, recorded at both Port Augusta and Broken Hill. Port Pirie reached 35 degrees, Whyalla at 32, Port Lincoln a top of 24. From the satellite, we can see sunny skies about the region thanks to a high pressure ridge, with some scattered low cloud about coastal areas. Moving on to tomorrow on the Gulf waters, southeasterly winds tending southwesterly at 10 to 15 knots with seas around 2 metres. The sun will rise at 6:36 in the morning with sunset just before 8:30. It's looking to be very hot, dry and sunny tomorrow, with many areas expected to surpass 40 degrees. From the top, Woodna 44, Port Augusta 43, Corn a top of 42, Port Pirie and Clare both 40 degrees, Whyalla, Broken Hill, Cleve and Kadina all looking to reach 39, Coffin Bay 35, Port Lincoln with a top of 30 degrees tomorrow. Taking a quick look ahead through the week now, more extreme conditions forecast for Thursday, with Port Lincoln expected to reach 37 degrees. Cleve and Woodna both jumping into the 40s on Thursday as well, with a minor cool change bringing rain and possible thunderstorms on Friday. Whyalla, Port Augusta and Kadina all partly cloudy with maximum temperatures in the early to mid 40s on Thursday, with showers expected on Friday. Port Pirie and Clare both forecast to reach the 40s on Thursday. Friday maximums in the mid 30s with showers expected. And finally to Broken Hill, where it's looking to remain hot and partly cloudy Thursday, Friday and into the weekend. And John, that's it for today's weather report. Take care in tomorrow's hot and dry conditions.
Thanks, Britt. And that's the local news this Tuesday evening. Thanks for joining us. I'll have updates later, but until then, enjoy your evening. On behalf of the team, it's good night.